and making people, increasing awareness about drivers and all of that. And it's something that I had worked on when I was at the city of Norwalk, and finally, with a complete street type of platform, it finally got approved, like I think last year. It took 5 years to do that, become part of an ordinance and standard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So welcome to government, right? Things take a long time, which we all know, right? But I thought it would make sense for everyone to kind of understand what Vision Zero is and how it relates to all of that. And I think I sent you all a few weeks ago, there was an article in one of the newspapers, something that popped up on my feed about the fact that, there's less vehicle accidents, but more pedestrian and also bicycle accidents. So that increases deaths and injuries. Anyway, so Anna, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. So I'm just going to share my screen really quick because I have a few slides.
Access?
Share.
I think I do.
Down at the bottom.
You want to try it or not? There you go.
Okay. So as Catherine just said,
Wait, make that larger.
are you guys seeing the PowerPoint or the presenter slide?
So we're going to try to make it larger.
And we're seeing your slide.
Better?
Oh, that's great.
That's
Perfect.
right.
I never know which one it's going to open on.
It works.
So
It's fine.
and then we're done.
But anyway, as Catherine said, the number of fatalities are going down for drivers and motorcyclists, but for bicyclists and pedestrians, they are either staying pretty level, or in the case of bicyclists, went up like 100% compared to the year before. So it definitely is a crisis that needs to be addressed. But I'm here today to talk about Vision Zero. Before I do that, just a little bit about what I do and, Watch From ECT in general. It's an education program that's designed to reduce the number of deaths and serious injuries as a result of traffic crashes for bicyclists and pedestrians. It's a partnership between the Connecticut Department of Transportation and the Injury Prevention Center at Connecticut Children's, which is where I work. The program was started in 2017 after a 1-week period in 2016 where there were 9 serious crashes involving pedestrians and 8 fatalities from those crashes. I don't think this is a secret to anyone. Traffic crashes are a serious problem in Connecticut. In 2024, there were more than 1,600 crashes involving pedestrians and bicyclists. That means every 5 days, there were 23 crashes, 3 serious injuries, and 1 death. The numbers for 2025 aren't final yet, but I can tell you that it's going to be pretty much the same. In the 2024 annual report that was put out by the Connecticut Bike and Pedestrian Advisory Board, there's graphs and data in there that notes about 2% of all crashes in the state are pedestrian-involved crashes. Bicyclists are even less. But for pedestrian crashes, pedestrian fatalities make up about 20% of all fatalities. So while it is less common than the other types of crashes, it is some of the most dangerous. So now on to the solution, Vision Zero. Vision Zero challenges sort of what we consider to be acceptable, because for some reason, society as a whole has kind of deemed the fact that there is going to be some amount of deaths as the result of road travel. It's just the way it is. But these deaths are not inevitable. They're not written in the stars. They don't have to happen. And you're going to hear me refer to traffic crashes rather than traffic accidents, because while there are freak accidents that do happen, most crashes can be prevented through education or enforcement or engineering, which I'll get into that a little more later. So we're moving away from calling them accidents just because they're preventable. The Vision Zero network has a really good way to sum this up. Vision Zero, while increasingly safe, healthy, and equitable mobility for all. It's a strategy to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries. So if Vision Zero is the goal, 0 deaths or serious injuries, the safe system approach is how you achieve it. There are 5 elements and 6 principles to the safe system approach. I know it sounds a little complicated, but I'm going to walk you through it. The elements are safer people, so people doing what they're supposed to do, safer vehicles. Technology ultimately is a great driver of safety because the computer doesn't have the same reaction time as a human. It's faster. A computer that is driving a car doesn't need to text. Well, people shouldn't be texting, but there's no distraction with a computer. Safer speeds. Speed is one of the most important elements in determining how severe a crash is going to be, and I'll get into that a little more in a sec. We can design safer roads that encourage people to drive responsibly, and then very importantly, post-crash care. So how fast can we get someone who's been in an accident or a crash to treatment? The principles, and some of these may not sound, some of these principles sound like they should have been obvious, but they really do mark a shift in how transportation is approached. So death and serious injuries are unacceptable. The ultimate goal is to reduce the number of deaths and serious injuries to 0. Humans make mistakes, but while people make mistakes, the roadway can be designed to minimize the impact of those crashes. Humans are vulnerable, and this is really where speed comes in. There's only so much kinetic energy that the human body can take. The faster a car is going immediately prior to the crash, the more kinetic energy there is and the more severe the crash. Responsibility is shared. Transportation is really a team effort where everyone needs to work together to make sure that everyone gets to where they're going safely. Safety is proactive. Crashes happen, but we should be using the tools we have to identify and address safety issues to prevent as many crashes as possible. And the last is that redundancy is crucial. If one of those elements fail, the others are still working to protect people. This is also called the Swiss cheese approach. Think of like 5 or 6 slices of Swiss cheese lined up. While some things may go through the hole of one, there's another piece of cheese to stop the thing going all the way through. It's a very similar approach. Along with the safe system approach, you might hear about something called complete streets. I believe Bethel has a complete street policy, but just to overview what that is, the idea is that streets are for everyone and not just cars. So on the left, you see a traditional design where you have large lanes for parking, several travel lanes, and not a ton of room for people or vehicles that are not cars. A complete street is a fundamentally different approach. So while you absolutely still have places for cars to travel, you also have places for bikes. There might be a transit lane, green spaces, and of course, a place for pedestrians. So in terms of the difference, and I think that this is really eye-opening, in the traditional approach, deaths are inevitable. Humans have to be perfect because we want to prevent collisions. It's very individually focused, and saving lives is expensive. The Vision Zero approach kind of flips everything on its head. Traffic deaths are preventable. We have to integrate human failing into this approach because, I mean, humans make mistakes and we're not perfect. We can prevent fatal and severe crashes. So there are actually some interventions that do either slightly increase the number of crashes or have the number of crashes remain level as what it was before. But all of those crashes that tend to happen in the new infrastructure or whatever it is are mild. So maybe they're a minor fender bender instead of a T-bone crash, and ultimately will result in property damage instead of, someone going to the hospital. It's a systemic approach. So one person driving recklessly can be hampered by, good road design, enforcement, and all of the other interventions. And saving lives is not expensive. Public Health 101, it's much easier and cheaper to prevent something from happening than to treat it after it has happened. And this sort of follows that paradigm. The way we accomplish this is through the 3 E's of transportation safety. You may have heard this as the 4 E's or the 5 E's. I'm sticking with 3 because those seem to be the most consistent, but it includes engineering, enforcement, and education. So how do we design roads that encourage people to drive safely? Most people will drive the speed they feel most comfortable. So if you create a road that is wide with very flat curves, people are going to go really fast, even if it's through, say, a residential area. Education, people need to understand how to use the new infrastructure and understand the risks and what driving recklessly actually means. I like to believe that there's 3 groups of people. There's the people that know what they're doing and they know why they're doing it and they do the right thing without having to be taught. There are people who I will never reach because they are going to do what they're going to do. And then there's the group in the middle. The group in the middle are people who would do better if they knew better, and maybe they don't realize why what they're doing is dangerous. So targeting that middle group can do a lot of good in educating people on how to be safe on the roads. And the last E is enforcement. If people fail to follow the road design and the education doesn't work, that's where enforcement can come in to help police people who aren't following the rules and who are driving recklessly and making communities unsafe. So while most people think of infrastructure as very expensive capital projects, and that is mostly true, there are some less expensive things that can be done in the meantime beyond education that, is generally considered the cheaper of the 3 E's. And that is something called quick builds. This is also known as tactical urbanism. And what it is temporary or semi-permanent infrastructure that allows communities to try new designs before committing to an expensive project, or something that can be in place while the project's being budgeted for and built. These can be pilots for a short-term test, or like I just mentioned, an interim design that's meant to be there for a little bit longer. It's a little bit more than a demonstration, which might only use chalk. Like there are certain, it's called flexible materials that can be used, like ballards, to make it more permanent than just someone drawing on the pavement with some chalk or something like that. So it's a good middle ground. According to NACTO, which is the National Association of City Transportation Officials, quick builds are done with the permission or led by a government entity. They have a short implementation timeline, so they're designed to be done fast, hence the quick in the name. And they're designed to be made so changes can be done easily. Whether it's a test or not, it may be that an element of the quick build needs to be tweaked to work better for the community, and that's really what this is designed for. On the left of the screen, you can see sort of the stages of a project. Demonstration isn't a quick build, but that can lead into one. A pilot project or an interim design, like you see in the middle, really are what this is. And then hopefully, if it works, this leads to permanent installation. On the right of the screen, you can see a quick build that is in Hartford. This is actually a fairly common one where you take some paint and this also beautifies the community. And then ballards got attached to create what is essentially a bump out. So it makes the distance that people have to cross shorter, which makes it more accessible for pedestrians and also forces cars to take the turns slower. This is an inexpensive solution to problems that were faced in this community. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so that I can see everyone.
So, thank you, Anna. This is really great. And yes, the town does have a complete street policy, but I think it makes sense to lay that over with a Vision Zero concept, obviously. I think there's probably places in town somewhere, I'm not sure where, because a quick build makes a whole lot of sense with the crosswalks, ballards, the bump outs. Those are things that are not as expensive as a full-blown infrastructure improvement to test it out in probably high, active areas. something like that. I don't know what the other commissioners think.
I thought that was really interesting with the painting out, painting the bump out. That's
Yeah, because
interesting
those kind
way
of things
to-
really slow people down. Peter, you're really good at this. What are your comments?
The town may have adhered to the complete street concept, but far from implemented, at least
Right.
on my side of town. Um, I would say that probably the first thing that the town could play with is a bike lane. Even if it's just marked out through downtown. We're a town known for bikes. And the world's most famous bike companies comes from here, and we don't have bike lanes in Bethel.
Bike racks. We need bike racks.
Bike racks, yeah, bike racks, you need the bike riders. And I've lived here long enough to see enough fatalities over on Hollyville and all over the place. I lost my father in New York City on a bike. So it's something that I take personally. I was in San Jose 2 weeks ago, and I've never been so excited to have 2 full lanes of traffic, dedicated, protected bike lanes across the city. It was lovely. But it's something that we need to consider anytime we do any infrastructure in town. Because we are a car-focused state. We're a car-focused country. We're still living off of Robert Moses' legacy, even in Connecticut.
I think in the West, because the way the land is, the way it lands, the actual geography lands in the West, it's flatter. The Northeast is very curvy. It's hard because we put, when I was working for even Denver and in Norwalk, a lot of bike lanes, and some of them protect them, some of them didn't. Just
Right. I
they're
mean,
white to do protected bike lanes. They are important for sure.
right. So there's a state bike lane designated. I think it's number 7 that runs through the town. There's a sign. There's nothing. There isn't even paint on the road indicating you've got to share with a bike.
Yeah.
God forbid a pedestrian. I mean, let's take the beloved corner over here at Grassy Plain and Greenwood. Okay, a pedestrian cannot cross that street. Period. There's no side. There's a traffic light, but there's no sidewalk. And then you have to zigzag your way across the street to get where you're going. It's beyond horrible. The only thing more horrible is Triangle over in Danbury at South Street, but it's the same kind of thing where there's just a random triangle in the middle of the street wreaking havoc on 1, 2, 3, 5 roads. And you can't cross, and it's a state road. And you can't cross it safely.
Has there been any more information about, because I think I had read that on Route 6, they were actually, the state was putting some money into improvements.
So
is there anything new on that?
Basically, it was delayed and it's still delayed. So the town received, I want to say like 400 grand to do like a planning, engineering, design phase type of grant. And it just hasn't come in. So, which is why meeting Anna was great, because to me, in the meantime, another way to address the concerns captured by the walk audit was to do educational, like, safety awareness. So, the town, I believe Kathy does the social media. They're connected with Anna now, so that they're going to work on that awareness digital campaign that's going to go out on social media. I thought it was necessary for Anna to present as Watch for Me for the traffic authority, which is the police commission here in town, because as Peter was referring, these roads are, it's part of a process. It's like there's protocol as to how things are approved and checked off. So the more awareness of different options and possibilities, safety features, sustainable infrastructure that help all of the things we're trying to address.
Accessibility.
Accessibility, of
Mhm.
course. Because our sidewalks don't connect to each other. There's a lot to still
Our bus
be.
stops don't have
They don't have shelter.
ramp cuts. They don't even have ramp cuts.
They don't.
Curb cuts.
Exactly.
I mean,
So-
my neighbor's in a chair. He cannot get to the mobile station on the corner.
So it's a way to continue the conversation, continue to have it be, at the front of our minds. So hopefully they continued that relationship and that awareness campaign reaches people. Beyond that, in terms of the grant and sort of the next steps in engineering, that's on the town side, which we can support and, keep informed, but it's sort of out of our commissioner hands at this point.
Right.
But yeah, certainly supporting and encouraging and, spotlighting.
And anyone who wants to follow deeper, we just missed it, but every October, New York City has their Vision Zero Safety Forum where they invite folks from all over the country and all over the world, because New York City was the first to implement Vision Zero, or attempt to. It's more like zero vision. But
Yeah, but the conference is pretty good. I've been there 3 times, I think, when I was in the, yeah, it was yeah, very insightful for
Well,
sure.
just because everything I do in my life has wheels, it's something the town has to think about and the state has to think about when they go and start buying new trucks. In Europe, they figured out long-nosed trucks are dangerous, just like long-nosed school buses are dangerous. They have incredible blind spots, especially for 3.5, 4-foot kids. That's why there's a big movement on to do the flat-faced trucks going forward in buses. Our school buses should be flat-nosed buses. And that's a big contributor to pedestrian safety.
Some of them are.
Some of them are, but
Not enough though.
Are there any other questions or comments for Anna related to Vision Zero? So we should continue this conversation. We're already involved with the Watch For Me, like Gabriella. This is, do something in between all of the bigger capital type of projects. We could get wrapped up with the town related to some of the quick builds and some of these other things to increase awareness in addition to the marketing campaign. So
what department would that be?
Public Works, probably.
Public Works.
Yeah. To do the build out part.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's,
The highway
Well-
department, because
Well,
So
or not,
Oh,
I think it
whatever.
would be,
I
it
think
would be
both.
beneficial for Anna to do a presentation, like
Oh, yeah.
a presentation for them,
Mhm.
just so that then when the grant money does free up and some of that does happen, that
it's
they
something
would
I
have
suggested.
an education.
It's something I suggested to Dan, and whenever, however, he folds that in, because it's like a department, right?
Okay,
It's like they're town employees.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Because,
know.
I mean, this was not there was a lot of information, but it didn't take a lot of time. You know what I mean? So I
Oh,
don't
I
think
agree with
that-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to do this and
Oh,
thank you so
yeah.
much,
No,
Anna,
no.
because this is a start. We have to start somewhere.
Right,
The
of
conversation.
course.
So this is, something to really think about and something the commission could really wrap their whole heads around and to continue to advance these type of initiatives, especially pedestrian safety.
Do you guys want a quick update about what the other plan actually is?
Sure. Yeah.
So you know? Okay, so I presented to the police commission, as somebody mentioned a little while ago in November. So what's happening with that is there's going to be a social media campaign that's going to focus on behavior, so targeted towards behavior. I'm waiting to hear back from the town with Bethel specific images because that was the direction that that was decided on. So once I have those images, I can get the ball rolling on creating the social media tiles. There will be a Bethel specific one pager at some point in the future. There was discussion about whether it was going to be following whatever the grant was funding or something else. So that's still TBD. I am able to come to Bethel to help with outreach, a few times or a couple times if need be. And then the last thing was something called the Pace Car Pledge. Short version about the Pace Car Pledge, and I will have materials once this launches, is essentially it's getting residents to make a commitment to drive the speed limit. This is shown to be successful in reducing travel speeds by 3 to 5 miles an hour, which in residential areas is a good thing, especially because every 1 mile an hour reduction in speed at these lower speeds can reduce the risk of serious injury or death by about 3 to 5%. So that's sort of what we have going on with Bethel.
To add to that, with the pledge car specifically, there's some like minor costs associated with the stickers the decal you put on your vehicle to identify it as such. So Dan is going to apply to some sort of grant to cover those costs and amplify that message. And that, from what I understood, was supposed to be around springtime. I don't know.
Yeah.
When it actually happened, but that's the plan.
So from my understanding, the grant that is being applied for is called the Active Transportation Micro Grant, which is about $5,000. This will not be, I'm assuming that there will be other stuff in this application because the Pace Car Pledge materials will not cost $5,000. They'll probably cost like $200 max. But that is an grant that gets done quarterly, and the first one for this year is at the end of March. Money gets dispersed either at the end of April or in the beginning of May, depending on your COG, I believe.
Right,
Although,
Best COG, all the COGs have the micro grants, the $5,000. But you're right, it would, because I can't imagine.
I think the
stickers costing
plan.
that.
I think the plan for the micro grant was to buy social media like ad space to amplify the message from like the town social media to like, blast it so that it reaches more people. That was my understanding. I don't know if that's going to actually be what happens, but we'll see. Peter?
So we started the public outreach in New York City very simply. We put bumper stickers on every city-owned vehicle. People started asking, why is this on a school bus? What is Vision Zero? Why does every pedestrian matter? We have, the town has 30 police cars, 8 or 10 pieces of fire apparatus, couple of ambulances, 20 cars, and how many school buses? Everyone sees them every day. Something as simple as making people ask a question about something new.
Yeah, so the traffic authority approved the pledge car initiative. So the police commission approved it. We're just waiting for it to actually happen when the micro grant comes in. But yeah, I think that would be a good idea. I don't know if they.
How much do we think 100 bumper stickers are going to cost?
Anna, do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I can get you numbers on that. It's not a lot.
What are they? $1 a piece? $2 a piece?
Probably even less than that, to be honest.
So I would go on record saying I, Peter Schenkman, would be happy to donate the money to buy bumper stickers for every town-owned vehicle with a Vision Zero message.
Well, that's not the pledge card message.
No, but it's.
I
something
understand,
to
but
try
it's a
and
start.
add. Yeah, letting
They
people.
all go together. They're all
Yeah,
together.
sure.
You got to.
Right, because I think when people's curiosity is piqued, you know, then, and we're on our phones all the time anyway, and so they see something like that, and then they say, what is
And
that?
then, right. So they see it on a vehicle, then they're scrolling and they see it on our social media page, and we hope.
Yes,
Yeah, so we'll see if the town commits to that when the time comes.
Okay, but I'm still offering to put Vision Zero decals on every
Right.
vehicle.
I think it's a conversation for you to have with Dan, for you to have with the police commission. Like, it isn't for us to decide what the town
No,
does.
no, I mean, but it's an idea.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying, I think that's the path to go on.
we'll start. I'll give one to every commission member. We don't have to ask permission.
Oh, my beautiful.
Are those, is that like a copyrighted thing, like the Vision Zero?
Well,
Like,
they have
do we-
swag. Vision Zero has
Yeah.
swag.
I mean, literally, I walk away. I'll be in Brooklyn tomorrow night. I'll probably grab a dozen of them.
I'll take one, Peter. I'll put it on my card. That's not a problem because I believe in it and I started it and somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I
Anna?
ask one?
Oh, go ahead.
So do you guys think it would be helpful to do some sort of presentation or chat with whoever the road?
Yeah, I
people
do.
who-
I do.
Okay.
Yes. And I'll help with that. Coordinate. It might take a while though. 'Cause
No, that's fine.
To get all of
Can
this.
we
together.
invite Watch for Me to the Earth Day event that we do out on the front lawn?
So just to let you guys know, we did invite and suggest that all of these like department people be present initially. They just didn't make the meeting. So it is something to work on, to continue to work on. So
When is the Earth Day event?
it's currently booked for April 25th, rain date April 26th. But I can't plan it this year. So we'll see who does.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions for Anna or comments?
No.
Anna, do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it. If you need to reach me or have questions, both Catherine and Gabriella have my contact information. So, feel free to reach out if you need, something that Watch For Me can help you with.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks,
very-
Anna.
Thank you.
Thanks,
very
Anna.
much.
That was very
Thanks
informative.
so much for being
Okay,
here.
thanks.
Really
Bye-bye.
appreciate it.
It's very
Okay.
informative.
Take care. Okay. Very helpful. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, hopefully, they take advantage. It's a free program.
I know. Well, and the Watch For Me is great. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, let's get Vision Zero conversation going. And the town does have a complete street policy, but no, it has not been implemented. All that takes some capital dollars.
Well-
And hopefully with the new Route 6 thing, that will be part of it. I don't know.
So I was wondering if we could clarify, because I'm a little confused. There has been like town conversation. I feel like I read somewhere that they're rethinking the transit-oriented districting situation. Can somebody clarify what's happening with that currently?
I don't know the details, but that doesn't surprise me. That happens in most municipalities. They pass something and then they revisit it. I don't really know what's going on.
I mean,
specifically.
where the buses will stop and where
They passed,
That
I
I
remember
wanna-
several years ago, I believe it was a couple of years ago, a transit-oriented policy and they designated geography
Right.
areas.
Which is downtown and
Correct,
the
yeah.
Stony
And
Hill
so-
area.
Right, and that was all to advance these type of initiatives.
Right.
And to enhance and increase awareness about, other options other than driving, creating more, safe sidewalks and all of that stuff. Now apparently there's a conversation about, let's rethink what that means or where that is. And I really don't know, Gabriella, where that's going. I just heard that was happening.
Right. I don't know.
But,
Do you guys know?
No, probably not. But regardless, we'll advance some of this conversation about the Vision Zero as well as the Watch for Me, which is really important. So, okay. So what do I have on Chairman's report? Good news about the P.T. Barnum mural. It did get delivered to the artist in December. So my work is done. If he gets that, if Brett gets that, then it's happening. So what's going to happen now? The state is paying for the restoration. There's some restoration, not a whole lot, because they did actually preserve it. That mural was not the only one that the state has commissioned throughout the state to other artists over the years, right? But there is some touch-up work that Brett will need to do. He has a few other commissions that he's working on, and then him and his wife are going away. So we are going to be meeting in February to plan and schedule. In his mind, he will be complete with the restoration component of this journey in March. That's what he thinks. And then that hallway needs some help. So the town's going to have to do a little bit there. Brett will come down and help install it with other people, the town here, the building people. There needs to be that UV protector on the window because of all the sun that comes in. So that will have to happen, and some lighting. But it's advancing. I mean, the goal is to have, I knew the minute he got it, I knew that it was going to start moving forward. So that will happen.
It would be nice if, like P.T. Barnum's birthday is July 5th.
No, this is going to be done before.
Okay.
No,
but maybe do like some kind of dedication.
Yeah, we should
something
do,
like
yeah.
that.
What I'd like to have is in March, no, in May at the latest, just so it's an unveiling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some type of unveiling. And then, because of the whole other 250th, there could be like little tours. I just want it up there. But anyway, it's gonna advance as fast as it can at this point. So that's good. Kimeworks is already, they're going to be starting their crowdsourcing with the Community Match Fund for the Sustainable Connecticut. That mural will probably be up sometime this spring and the summer. Bethel Arts is going to do another downtown sculpture installation with the theme of the Declaration of Independence. I don't know the details. I'm just giving you what I know from a little bit that I heard. Let's see what else was I going to do. Remember everything. That's kind of, let's see, is this? Yep. That's all I really have from my end. Okay. So the consideration of approval of the minutes, I did not see the minutes. They were not posted, but there was a recording. And Robert's Rules of Order allow us to approve the minutes based on a recording. Those minutes are somewhere, right? They just never got posted.
We received
Yeah.
them.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
Okay, but they weren't posted.
Yeah,
They have the stamp on them.
But they weren't
I thought I saw him.
online. Okay, so you did. All right. So that's good, but it wasn't posted online. So anyway, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
Approve. I motion.
No, you have to make a motion to approve the minutes. A motion.
I motion to approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay. All in favor? Are the abstentions?
I abstain, I wasn't here.
presumed there. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the next item is, like any other organization, looking at what the Sustainable Bethel Commission is. I know you did the bylaws, which is great. That's guidance. It's awesome. But starting a conversation about, at this point, since, let's see, the first time it was created was in 2018, the next time it was created in 2022. And the purpose of it, if you look at those, both those resolutions, was specifically related to the getting the certification, which is really important. It's very important. And we have the certification, which then we'll have to do something in 2027. So we don't have to answer everything today, but yeah.
How long is it
3 years.
anticipated that, no,
Oh.
how long is it anticipated that it will take to certify? Like, it took longer in the
It took longer
beginning
at the beginning.
because you're new to the whole thing.
Right.
But any time
So
frame?
My
Bless you.
housing, bless you, is that, because, yes, it did. There's a big learning curve on that. But now, we're pretty experienced in it, and we collaborate with them quite a bit. And there's categories and initiatives that the town, that we can probably use again, because it's within that 3-year period. So it probably won't be as onerous or tedious or crazy trying to get all of those categories filled. There will be the requirement of a new equity toolkit for sure. But, and depending on what the commission wants to do, whether they continue just with bronze or they want to go for more silver and gold, that's up to the commission.
Yeah. Okay.
That's related to that. But so the two
Last time we had a subcommittee, like a
planning
Certification.
Yes.
subcommittee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
that worked on
The
said
different
applications. Yeah.
components.
all that stuff.
Okay.
And ultimately ended up being
the two of us.
You feel like,
But, oh my God.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm just wondering whether we need to start in 2026
It
to get.
would
yeah,
make
get
sense,
yeah, okay.
in my opinion, it would make sense to start in 2026.
Okay,
So whoever wants to take that on, and we're in January right now, so
right.
that's a conversation that needs to be had for sure.
Okay.
But back to what I was talking about is, so the last time this was created in 2020, was it 2022 or 2021? I cannot remember the second resolution. And it's a good time to look at what do we want to do as far as projects and direction, that's separate from the bylaws that you all put together, and what are next steps. So what I'd like to propose, we don't have to have this massive conversation right this second, but we definitely should have a conversation like any other organization or any department, or any of you have run programs that have maybe they have gone on for several years. You got to kind of look at what's going on, right? It's just the way it is, and propose like a subcommittee to look at that and brainstorm. Just have those brainstorms. Like where do we as a commission, what are we doing? Or is everything perfect, 1,000% perfect, and nobody wants to change anything? It's up to all of you. I'm just throwing out the conversation.
I think some of that was answered, or at least was given structure in the bylaws, at least the final version we landed on. We definitely had the intention of making sure that this commission should and could live on beyond any particular certification program. So that's something that was incorporated into the bylaws.
Yeah.
But to further discuss what those subcommittees or additional subcommittees could look like, because we did include some. I think it makes sense. In tandem to, are we going to recertify with sustainable CT?
Right. And the other thing that in my opinion, we need to really advance is building those relationships with the department heads in a more intimate, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
way. I mean, we did a lot of building. We created a lot of stuff. We've rolled out a ton of initiatives and projects and really increased that awareness where, when you say sustainable Bethel, people go, oh, I know what that is. Oh, look, we got the market up there. But anyway,
So in my personal opinion, the way to do that, or at least the way I had understood it to be up until this point, was for the first selectman to be that connector, being that he's like the person that knows what's happening in all the different departments, like the entire town, and how it's moving towards all of those larger goals that are in, the plan of development, that are the intentions of like what the town is heading. And yeah, because I don't think that town departments necessarily know we exist in this function of supporting their goals, which I think we could do a better job of communicating how to do that. I think there have been some attempts throughout with different projects and different relationships and things that have come out of our commissioner's work. But as with the conversation we just had with Watch For Me and Anna, and what Peter said, it's about meeting those other departments, right? Like making sure that we are meeting with whether it's engineers, public works, the highway department, traffic authority, whatever aspect of it, we need to have that relationship. And from what I understood the commission to be being that it's still ad hoc, that it would sort of serve as an extension of the first selectman's office. So I would be, interested in having more direction or leadership in terms of actually sitting down with people and having us support them in some way to reach those town goals.
Very well said. We're on the same page, if you can believe that, you and I. So the way I was looking at it is that there's been a lot of studies, a lot of reporting, and some things just don't get done because the resources aren't there, or when you work, it's like a daily grind, right? You're doing all the stuff that you have to do. So what are those gaps? And that's where the meetings and the conversations and the brainstorming sessions with department heads would make a lot of sense to see how we can support all of everything that they're doing, because some things just don't get done because they just don't have the human resources. Forget about all the funding that needs to be done, and that's that's where the grants come in, where partnerships come in, and all that kind of stuff. But where are the gaps? Where are the gaps? So what I'm proposing is putting together a little subcommittee where we can brainstorm maybe with one or two of the department heads. I mean, again, this is not, we're not going to rush this. This is not a rush.
Right.
This is actually putting something together that has legs for down the road.
I would be interested in being on that subcommittee.
And we make sure that we don't have a quorum. Really important that we don't have a quorum. So, okay. So I will.
I also think it's very important that we continue to be certified.
He can join, but he can't say anything because he's from the public. He's not on the thing because we already went through the public comment. Nobody was here. He can join.
I think it's important that we continue being certified because because the grants that our community has taken advantage of, the Bethel Arts and the Be Kind and some of those other things.
Correct.
You have to have
You guys should.
the commission.
The garden club should submit for sure, because that reaches a whole lot of people. But yes. So when we're all
But I
said,
think that's like the first, because we actually looked at for some other project, I was looking at the that matching grant information, and the very first requirement is that you have a sustainable
correct.
Commission.
Yes.
So
Yes, you are absolutely right about that.
so
Anyway.
for no other reason.
It's not only for that CMF grants, but it's also for the bigger grants, because a lot of the bigger grants, especially for the state of Connecticut, if you say that, you have this type of commission that has some leverage and some legs, because that's priorities for them,
Yeah.
So if you're asking for capital expenses, stuff like capital money and all that kind of stuff. So are there any comments about this? I mean, again, we don't have to have a big blowout conversation right now, But again, just general sense of if it's something that all the commissioners, all of you want to do or not do, or
I'd be interested in working with Kelly on that for all the departments.
Kelly.
I don't think Kelly said she would.
Kelly, did you say anything? Did I miss that?
Did,
No.
Nope, I think you may have meant,
Krista.
oh,
Krista.
Gabriella?
No, Krista.
Krista. Oh, okay. I don't see her on my phone. Okay. Whoever. I'd be interested in working on that.
And I think we can get information from them that helps us.
Yes, we need to know what the
in-
gaps are. They know what the
Right.
gaps are.
Yeah,
We do not know that.
right.
We don't.
And so there's certain places like even the garden club, like we don't know certain things that are roadblocks for them. And like, maybe we could help with that.
Yes, we can support a lot of what they do and
Yes.
advocate and yes, and we can be helpful with resources and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, that's great. Perfect.
Yeah, that was one of the subcommittees in the bylaws.
Direction? What was it called?
Sustainability, like support. Or
Oh,
something.
okay. Right. Okay.
Or municipal support, something like that.
Yeah, so it was something municipal.
Municipal sustainability support.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah, again, it's not something that has to be done today or tomorrow or next month, but it definitely needs to be, this is like, to me, this is like the next step. Where are the gaps? And there's lots of them. I mean, I could probably rattle them all, a lot of them off, but we want them to be involved because once they're involved, once people are involved with what you're doing, then they're involved and they're part of the process, right?
Well, and knowing that they're supported.
Correct. Right. So, okay, good. So I'll put something together. It'll be a little subcommittee and then we'll chit chat and go and we'll, invite Janice, Sarah, those are the two main ones in my head. Okay.
I mean, I know economic is like important, but I feel like there's so much already done with the economic department. Not that it shouldn't continue, but maybe we should start with departments we don't have relationships with or as strong of a relationship.
We should
with.
just talk to all of them, quite frankly,
Yeah,
so we know where the gaps are because each of them have that information. So, I don't want to leave anybody out, but okay, yeah. Okay. Perfect on that. So any other comments on it? Okay. And I put the meeting schedule on there. Again, it's January, it's a new year. I don't know does everybody want a monthly meeting or is it every other month make sense to all of you, every quarter? I mean, everybody has a million things going on. Some people have their own businesses, work, kids, I can go on and on. And I just would like to know from all of you what your thoughts are, not feelings, what your thoughts are about, if monthly meetings are critical to this commission, or in my opinion, there can be work done in between, which is typically how a lot of these things are.
My 2 cents is that considering we're still ad hoc, maybe we consider, once a quarter or every other month, 6 meetings a year instead of 12. Make those a little more productive. I've just hit a good spell where I've been able to make all of these meetings, but I know I'm about to leave on a jet plane on Friday. So the next few months will be iffy at best for me. So
I'm gonna
I
chime in.
disagree.
Oh,
I think the more time we have in between, the less likely we are to continue to work on things. I think it just makes it easier to put things on the back burner. But that's my opinion.
mhm.
Any other comments about the meeting schedule, monthly or whatever? Again, this was just thoughts from what you all had, because it's January.
I like the monthly meetings. I agree with Gabrielle on that. If you, the more time you have in between, you push it until the meeting's coming up and then you don't get as much done.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I'm fine with the bi-monthly as well. Because it's,
Maybe every other month?
yeah, and, work is anyway getting done, to your point. And,
Have every quarter, have every other month? Okay.
yeah, every other month, I think is, from my end too, I think is good enough. I mean, like you said, all of us have a lot of things going on. But we're getting into our tasks in any case. So I'm personally fine with every other month.
Kelly, go ahead.
I would be okay with just the caveat that if we do go bi-monthly, that the committee or subcommittee, meetings happen in that month where they're not happening. And we have expectations that we kind of hold ourselves more accountable to, like, for what Sunny said, making sure we're doing those things that we had talked about. So I see pros and cons to both is my 2 cents. But if we do go bi-monthly, I'd just like to see and figure out a way to make sure stuff is happening within that other month that we don't have the meeting.
Okay. Debbie, what's your preference?
I'm good either way. I'm kind of leaning towards the every other month, but maybe we could do something like an email in between,
Well,
updating where we're at.
FOI. So if we meet email, I mean, me sending or one of us sending out an email to the group is fine, as long as none of us responds to the group, because now you're coming up against the FOI compliance. That's a quorum. Now we're having conversations. We would have to notice the meeting.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
right.
have to do that.
Right.
Well,
I'm good either way, every month or every other month.
okay.
So whatever the group decides is okay.
I think monthly gives Bethel residents a chance to participate. Not that people come, but it does give them a chance to participate. I think us being accessible and transparent is important. And having these monthly meetings be public and recorded does help with that. So I'm a fan, but it's, obviously up to the group.
Okay, it's not on the agenda. We could add an item to the agenda to see what you all want to do. So I'm going to propose a motion to add an item to the agenda to discuss or to consider a change to the meetings, consider the meetings scheduled versus just a discussion. Well, do I have to do that? No, I think about it. I can just make a
Well, it's
motion
kind of
to,
It's kind of really a part of your meeting
it's
schedule.
part of that
Yeah.
item.
It would be a part of that.
So
I know.
confusing, right? No, that's the FOI and everything else, there are
You
rules of
can't-
order.
With doing your meeting schedule, you just make it a part of the item, but if you
Okay,
come to a agreement, you
okay,
can just
I
make a
just want to know what
motion.
everybody wants to do, so, all right, so I'll make a motion, to change the meeting schedule to every other month, so this is January, so we would not have a meeting in February, we would have a meeting in March. So we would do that, we would change the meeting schedule if all of you would like to do that. So I'm making a motion, is there more discussion about that?
I think, can you add to that about the subcommittee meetings?
Yeah, we can add
Because-
to that, the subcommittees that will meet in between, during those months. Yes, we could do that, absolutely. Yeah. Which we will. Are there any other comments about that? All right, so I made the motion. Is there a second?
Second,
Okay,
So I'm sorry,
who seconded it?
Sunny.
Sunny?
Sunny.
Sunny seconded it, all right. So all in favor of changing our meeting schedule to every other month, signify by saying aye.
hi.
Aye.
I
Okay.
think that was 3. I think that was Peter, Debbie, and Sunny.
I agree with it too. Okay, so those who are not in agreement, who are you?
Nay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3,
And then
and
you're
4.
four,
Yeah,
so
so it passes. Okay. Okay, so we'll change that.
Not so much for being taken serious.
Okay. It's done. All right, the next item on the agenda is consideration to adopt and the revised Sustainable Bethel Commission 2025 bylaws. I put bylaws on it, but they are the bylaws.
But yeah, I was wondering if we could amend the agenda because it missed out the word bylaws. Please.
We can amend the agenda, yes. You can put that
And
on there,
then
that's fine.
when after the vote, whatever the decision is for it to be included.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you gonna do it or mine?
No, this is your project. Go ahead.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is to consider adoption of the Sustainable Bethel Commission bylaws 2025. You all had a month to review the document. Any discussion at this moment?
And it was sent in the package too.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody got it, in addition to it being on the.
Yep, it was
Google Drive.
posted with the agenda as well.
Yep.
Any discussion? Peter, Debbie, Sunny, Kelly,
No.
Krista, Catherine?
Nope.
Did a fabulous job. Thank you.
All right, so
Do you want to make the motion to?
yeah, so do I hear a motion to adopt the Sustainable Bethel Commission bylaws 2025?
I'll motion it.
Debbie made
I'll
the motion.
second it.
You second it.
I know, I made the
Oh,
motion.
you made the motion.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so-
Debbie seconded it, or,
Okay.
Krista,
Got it.
sorry.
That's okay. It's fine.
All those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.
Great. Again, great job. Thank you for taking all that time to make sense of it and put it in writing and everything.
yeah, that was great.
Thank you very much. All right.
And sorry,
Go ahead.
Sue, for the minutes, just please include the bylaws part of the title.
Yep.
Just because it's a
There you go.
particular document that'll live. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And thank you, Dana, who started initially, Krista and Kelly and myself, for taking on that project of, getting down to the specifics of how we're going to structure our work. So thank you.
Thank you, Gabby.
All right, commissioner reports. Peter, do you want to talk about flood mitigation? Peter?
Yeah, sorry. I'm packing.
Oh, you're.
Cause he's leaving.
I am going to San Diego to enjoy 72 degrees. And
Some warmth.
it will apparently be the storm of the century
Yeah,
this
you're gonna miss
weekend.
all the storm on Sunday into Monday.
I'm gonna miss it.
Snow.
I'm just waiting for the amount to shrink because it always does.
They're gonna cancel your flight just in case.
No, I'm leaving Friday morning. So no, I was watching the Boston news and Great Barrington, straight up Route 7, they're talking 12 to 16 inches.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Not that far away. It's only an hour away.
Hunker down.
Oh,
So you want to
yeah,
talk about
we're supposed to get
mitigation?
8 to 9.
So, flood mitigation. So Catherine and I had a meeting with Eric, the director of DPW, and 2 of his deputies. And we looked at flood maps. We came to the realization that Bethel's in a valley and really a swamp. There's water everywhere. And every time something changes, it has a multiplying effect. So in my neck of the woods on Fleetwood, just looking at a GIS map, you could see that it doesn't even account for certain runoff up the hill off of Benson, for example, and they're putting another brand new house in Benson. So what we learned is that Colonial Drive, Colonial Drive is outright the worst in town.
Oh, wow.
It has nightmare flooding. Grassy Plain has flooding, but it's due to almost, I would say, a comedy of errors. So if you look at the hill, or whatever they call it, coming down, right at the bank, the big turn on to Mansfield off of Grassy Plain. State controls those two flood drains right on either side. The house on the corner on the turn, DPW acknowledges, gets killed every time it rains. The viaduct under Grassy Plain is run by the state. The viaduct under Fleetwood is run by the town. It's so what we're seeing, certainly in my situation, but DPW acknowledged that we have major water issues, and their statements were the water moves where the water wants to move. They're not wrong. But in this little corner of Fleetwood, what we realized as we were talking through it is that all of this crazy flooding started over the past few years, where there were 4 new houses built, and they all dump into the runoff, which gets bogged down under Fleetwood, and then further restricted coming under Grassy Plain, and it backs up, and then it's just connected everywhere. So naturally, there's no money, and I'm going to continue to look to see if there are any grants. We disappointedly found out that, Catherine, correct me, I think there were 2 members of the Inland Water Commission that retired or resigned.
Yeah, or didn't get elected, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, right. So it's really fix it yourself, as long flood issues with guidance from inland water on ways to do it. Don't put up a stone wall kind of thing, or but everything that is done is going to affect someone either upstream or downstream. So it's an acknowledged issue that the town floods. And not sure there's much that we can do about it. Certainly on our commission, we were just there to bring it to their attention and see what they had to say, because obviously flooding is sustainable if you can't stay in your house because it's underwater. We'll see. I'll see what I can dig up as far as grants, and otherwise, everything lately has been overdevelopment in Bethel. And I would say, even though I wouldn't necessarily consider this overdevelopment over here, the development has resulted in maybe someone not fully understanding the waters of the town and making what was a minor problem a major problem. So
So I just want to say that this is an example of where we talk to a department head and his staff.
Yep.
That we can help support, advocate, and advance certain things and help with getting grants and resources.
Right.
Yep.
So that
So I just have, do you know what the Inland Commission's regulations or policies are on riparian buffers?
Yes, vaguely, just anecdotally from DPW. Um, uh, 50 feet in off of Fleetwood, which is the beginning of my property. I can't touch it. Town manages it. Any issue, they fix it. They've been out twice in the past few months to pull crazy debris out. From there to 50 feet before Grassy Plain, all of us neighbors have the ability to mitigate the flood to protect us. It's the Inland Commission that wants to make sure that if I put up a wall, it doesn't put everything up on the neighbor. And there's, I understand that there are different things you can do that I've already started to do, like plantings,
So
Well-
that's what a riparian buffer is.
yeah.
They are vegetated strips along rivers, streams, lakes, and other wetlands.
Yep.
Trees, shrubs, and other plants.
Yep.
These areas act as a protective buffer that shields waterways from the effects of nearby land uses.
Yep.
By slowing and absorbing stormwater runoff, riparian buffers help to control flooding and filter pollutants such as feces and fertilizers before they wash into rivers and streams, improving water quality and contributing to clean drinking water. So it's the roots and things that hold the soil.
Right. So I
have-
started with a couple of willow trees.
But that's not a riparian buffer. Two trees.
No,
are
I know,
not,
I know.
I mean, this
know.
needs to be like a vegetative strip. And it has to be, of significant width to do its job. And, so if we look at where the water's coming from, because I happen to have a friend or someone in the garden club lives on that, oh gosh, I don't even know the name of the street, but it's like one side of the street is Bethel and the other side is Danbury. And they have a street
Coal Pit.
that runs down their backyard. And there is absolutely no vegetation along that whole stream. So let's say there were vegetation that came along that stream. That would help to prevent all of that, flooding or rush of water.
Right. It slows it down for sure.
Going into those storm drains. So
Right.
back to my question is, what is the inland water position on that? Because
We're waiting because there's no one on the staff. We only heard it anecdotally from DPW.
okay, and so there's been at the state level, there's been a committee formed that is made up of various groups, with state officials, environmental advocates, urban planners, farmers, real estate agents, home builders, etc. And they've been having meetings to see if this is something that should be regulated at a state level, which might address the issue of, like who's responsible for, like the drain or the portion of that is state operated versus town. Because right now there's nothing about this.
No, it's right. So
on the state level.
it passes, the water in Bethel passes from town to state, back to town. It meanders. That's why when the state has a project like DPW mentioned right at Mansfield and Grassy Plain, they unknowingly created a disaster for the people that live there.
but let's say you're going down, Nashville, where they're putting in, that ginormous apartment building. I was just driving on that road today, and there's a stream that runs along the road, and there's a park on the other side. And so
Right.
you don't, like, that's holding that water and preventing that
Yeah.
from becoming like the same kind of issue that's going on over in Fleetwood.
Right. Now, I think I had mentioned that in one of the last meetings and spoken to
did.
somebody. Yeah. And it's allegedly been engineered.
Yeah, right. You
Um,
also said where that ran into.
Yeah, no, I'm bringing I told DPW, I'm bringing in the Army Corps of Engineers.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so little
Yeah,
The
bit of
Seabees will come in and build me a bridge.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that there's not anything, there's no
Hey, you
going
know,
on right now. Because really, if you look at where the water is originating and what is flooding, because my friend says that every time they have a storm, not only does her backyard flood, but there's a large house that they have horses and a pasture
oh
kind
yeah,
of
okay,
there,
I know exactly where
and
that is.
and,
Yeah.
and that all floods. So if there was some way, because I think that inland waters it can go in there with the Army Corps of Engineers.
Right.
And
No, I mean that's
put-
literally
and put
swampland over there.
and put like a shrubbery border. But if you
Yeah.
put some type of shrubbery or vegetation along that area, then it's going to prevent all of that flooding.
Right.
On a different note, my daughter works for an environmental company out west in Salt Lake City, and when she worked for the city, they used to collect Christmas trees, and like after Christmas, they
Mhm.
collect the Christmas trees, and they put they build one of these riparian buffers in the Jordan River along areas that were problems, that there was erosion occurring. And, so there's a lot of different ways you can address it, but
I
if
have the last 4
fair.
years of Christmas trees laid end to end along the edge of the creek.
Yeah. I don't know how to put the hand up on here.
Oh,
Okay.
next to your
Go ahead.
microphone, there's a
Hear you.
picture.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Debbie.
the happy face.
Go ahead.
That'll work too.
When Costa built on, I cannot think of the name of the road off of Taylor up on the hill. When he blasted that whole thing, I'm below that. Since he did that, the water runoff from the underground springs has been outrageous. I have lost about 10 feet of my front bank.
Huh.
I can't put it back. And we get flooding. Last year, I used a pickaxe to clean my driveway because of the ice. I can hardly wait for this storm coming. And across the street, it floods at the other end of my property. So, I mean, the erosion from the water, I mean, just on my small piece of property, I can imagine what it's doing
Right.
to everybody else's and their foundations.
And it's coming down. It's all runoff. It's all storm runoff from. They call it a mountain over
Yeah.
there. In Tariwa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But it's also the underground springs because
But it
they
doesn't-
shifted because of the
Oh.
blasting.
Now
doesn't
wait, hold on.
mean
So DPW did mention that Oh yeah, we have relocated builders, and everyone has relocated streams all over this town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they,
so even
they've
at McCower
relocated.
Park, there's, they built those houses across the street from McCower Park, and they put underneath the road, they put a pipe so that the runoff could go underneath
Into
the
the
road.
park.
Right.
It is a huge problem. They were supposed to have fixed it, so they dumped a truckload of rocks in front of the pipe and diverted it this way, but it's still, there's runoff that goes across the walking path.
Right.
Mm.
Plus they
So it's
polluted the
like-
pond.
So then,
I have a question.
So,
Yeah,
so
go
this is
ahead.
something that I would like to, like, because planning and zoning, like that, they're responsible for, putting contingencies and things like that on
Permitting and all that.
developers, or, making sure that all the Ts are crossed and the Is dotted. But I feel like in a situation like this, they need some ammunition. They need to say, okay, our inland, our town inland water regulations say this.
So
Right.
again, this is a really good example
I
of
have
a
a question.
subcommittee and meeting with department heads, right? There's
So-
planning and zoning or with public works. So I think, Peter, I know you're traveling.
I think this would be great for the conservation subcommittee.
Well, whatever
It's,
you want, but yeah.
well, that's what we have structured that we just adopted, right? Those are the
Yeah.
structures in place now.
That's fine.
So I suggest that the work that you guys are doing with the flooding and finding grants and programs, would be through the conservation subcommittee, because I think it could extend to
Okay.
other alternative
Sure.
mitigation,
Yep.
strategies.
Yep.
Peter, could you leave
Oh,
that?
hold on. And is there a specific programs that residents can access where they can essentially have these plants or stretches or,
Riparian buffers.
riparian buffers, have it be more accessible to people? So is there some sort of like program where homeowners can say, I want to mitigate my flood issue?
Yep.
Is there an
What do I do?
organization? Yeah, what do I do? What can I do?
Let's
to
go
get
find
this
it.
buffer?
I'll be the first customer.
So Peter, can you lead that subcommittee? Since you're in the middle of this whole flood thing and you really have a good handle on it.
I'll back you up. I would
I can
like,
try.
Yeah, try is good. All right, good.
since
I
you
can
already
try.
have,
I can
I
gather
have
information.
Information.
yeah, since you already have developed a relationship with some of the heads of the departments already,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, just
No, I'll participate
able
in
to then
meetings. Yeah, yeah. No
give
problem.
them more.
Yeah, I think it's a start.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Move
Yes.
on.
One little, I have planted rhododendrons and azaleas all along the length of my driveway. And
They float.
now azaleas and rhododendrons
Like
soak
it.
up the water.
Yeah.
But it's not enough.
Right.
It's not enough. To plant the plants is not enough. Because I've got trees out there that I planted, everything.
Mm.
How does your driveway go? I mean, there's a lot of factors involved.
Right.
My driveway is wide and it goes downhill because all behind me is ledge. Up above me is where Costa built, and behind that is Overlook Park.
Is it concave or convex?
Convex.
So when the water runs, it should run off onto the sides.
The grass
runs
and the
So
rhododendron.
much that
It's just too
it
much.
freezes. It's all ice. I had 6 inches of ice.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Like the Wells Fargo parking lot, eh?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I
Right,
can
that's
send
another-
you.
okay.
I can send you pictures.
Another day.
Can I just remind us and the public that the subcommittees anybody can participate in them? So in addition to the commissioners, and the department heads, town residents that are interested in conservation efforts and mitigation efforts could also be a part of conservation subcommittee. So
Awesome.
reach out if you want to do that.
Yeah, no, I've got the neighbors here that are all willing to do whatever they can.
Yeah, I'm saying it because Nico's on the call and I know he's talked about this stuff before. So just reminding everybody.
Yeah, no, that was the biggest group. We had like six members of the public show up for one
Yeah.
meeting.
Which was great. Thank you, Peter. All right, good. This was a great conversation. All right, Sunny. Sunny, you still there? Oh,
I'm
hi.
here. Yeah.
Hey.
So on SBEA, that's going well, except during the holidays it was slow, and this month, today we were supposed to meet. Bob Babcock, who's running this, who's basically reaching out to small businesses, has had good traction. And a number of proposals have been presented by Eversource to business owners, and he's following up with them. And last count, I think it's about 4 proposals have been given out. And I don't have the details and the numbers on them, but once I have my hands on those numbers, I'll share them with the committee. I was hoping to meet with them today, but he's out. So yeah, that's been going pretty well, and so we continue to like support it. Also with basically supporting Janice, and we'll be running it through 2025 as well. So that's the update on that. A second thing related to energy that I did want to also share is there is an Eversource program to bring energy efficiency awareness to schools, and that's something that they will show up and organize. We don't have to do much, but I want to bring it up with the school board and the principals, and get them to engage with us. And ideally the proposal is to with the school's help and with the commission's help, here all of you that is, and with the first selectman's support, I'd like to create a forum where students can be made aware of the the energy needs that are going to only double, triple probably over the next decade or so. And so why sustainability and efficiency are very important. So start to build that awareness, because this is a generation that's going to go into a fully AI workforce. And the needs are going to be huge. And as part of that, also try and like bring in students into this, into this commission as volunteers, so that any outreach programs that then go out into the community can also be supported by them going forward. So this is a high-level plan. Again, just the beginning of the year. So I hope to reach out to the school and anyone who would like to participate along with me on these conversations. I would really appreciate this support. Those are the 2 things that I wanted to share.
That's great, Sunny. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, this is really important. It'll really help with the sustainability of all of that, for sure.
I have a question for what is the intent of the group? Is it solely to have students be more aware, or is it to have more sustainable options be included in the infrastructure of the schools?
So the school infrastructure, Gabriela, that was already handled, I guess. I mean, it's coming up on 7 years now. Maybe there's room for further improvement. So that was put in place, and one of the buildings is relatively new. So that's a separate thing, and that would not be at the student level. That would be with the administrators themselves, any efficiency improvements. This is more to bring in a higher awareness to students, even as they're consumers of, energy and electricity, to let them know how it is important for them to start thinking about sustainability and efficiency. That is number one. Number two, if we can bring in advocates for energy efficiency within that young community and let them be the advocates into the community as we conduct outreach programs, bring them into the into our network, so to say, so that communications can go out almost on their behalf, or they're communicating, they're the word of mouth advocates, if I may, for programs that we run. And again, this is, initially the idea is to reach out to schools and see in what way they can help us leverage the student body to spread more of what we are trying to do here.
Okay, thank you. Does the climate club still exist?
It
In the
does.
schools,
Yes.
I am not sure.
No, they do. They're through the site.
Yeah, my kids have been out of school a few years now, so I don't really know.
Oh,
Because that would be somebody to reach out to.
I'll make a note. Yeah, good idea. Thank you. Climate Club. And yeah, any other ideas that you have, yeah, please let me know. Like I said, I haven't set foot in the school for a few years now.
Maybe the youth commission, since it's like an existing youth body.
News. Okay. Mission. Yep.
The teen center and like the library, like the after school programs around town.
Yep.
Sports teams. I don't know.
is there a particular age group you're thinking of targeting first?
I'm thinking the middle school because high schoolers are usually very highly in demand, no pun intended. They seem to be pulled in a lot of different directions, and the workload is too much. So I'm thinking of the middle schoolers who can participate in these.
Parks and Recs.
Parks and Rec, yeah. That's good. Parks and Rec.
Thank you, Sunny. Anybody that wants to be part of this subcommittee with Sunny, who's leading it, has done a fabulous job with the SBA program, reach out to her, please.
Federated Garden Clubs of Connecticut puts on an environmental school, and one of our resources is a woman at Connecticut Deep, and her job is to educate educators. And so she may have some programs already that could pick up. I will send you her name.
That'll be great.
Okay.
Thank you, Krista.
Okay, is there anything else? Thank you, Sunny.
So, I mean, if once I have these conversations and we move forward, and if we do have like something on the agenda for this year, or like it could be the start of next school year even, at that time, I would definitely look for help in the form of, volunteers for that event, if there's one that happens this year.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly, any word on HRA?
Very little. The next meeting they canceled. It's every other month. So the next meeting won't be until February. So I'll have more to report at the next monthly meeting.
So Kelly agreed to represent us, our Sustainable Bethel Commission, at the Housatonic Regional Recycling Authority, the Regional Recycling Task Force. They're the ones who help out with, they actually created all the recycling, the food scrap program, the repair cafe and all that, and we play a big part of that, obviously. They were very instrumental in us getting spent over $500,000 for the next part of the wood scrap.
One of the other things that Bethel does at their transfer station that a lot of other towns don't do is and this is due to the environmental commission that Libby Kellogg, our first environmentalist in Bethel, advocated for, and that was having recyclables separated. So it's much easier to, they're much more valuable when they're already separated out, plastic, and they separate the metal out by magnet, so you have your plastic and your metals, you have your glass separate from that, you have your paper separate from that, you have your thin film separate from that. Then it makes that material more saleable. And they can actually make some money on the recycling. A lot of these one stream where it just picks up the recycling in a single tub, like a very small percentage of that actually gets recycled. So that's sad. So, but Bethel was, thanks to Libby Kellogg, because she was the one who really advocated for that, to have it separated, that was the big
deal.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we do
So-
have one of the best recycling programs in the whole
Yes.
state of Connecticut, actually.
And I have to say, we have one of the nicest transfer stations as well.
We do.
We even decorated ours.
People are so nice. And every time you go,
All the
there's
artwork
like-
is posted all over social media.
It's
hysterical.
fantastic.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Skeleton.
I know, it's great. It is good. It is.
Yeah,
So when
we
you
got-
go out there, you don't feel like you're just.
Like you're at a transfer station.
Right.
Yeah, and even people are nice there. I mean, it's just it's really well run. I shouldn't say. I mean, I enjoy going there. I really do. And they even they love the cats that are there. The cats are well taken care of because, of course, I asked about that. And it's like it's a great place. So anyway,
It is. It is.
They
They're
do a
always,
great job.
they
really
always,
do.
it's funny because for me, I'm like, I just have recycling today. They're like, again? No trash.
I'm sustainable. I'm sustainable.
I have to bring my compost. I'm glad it's cold because it's less stinky.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
and I'll just say this one last thing. Since next month is the first meeting that I'm going to be at, it's going to be every other month. If
Yeah.
we'll talk about it here and I'll report out, but if there's anything that anybody wants to raise or give to me, just reach out and let me know. Because obviously I'm representing our commission.
I think the repair cafe is the most sort of thing that still needs to be developed further. I think a lot of like what we're saying, the function of the transfer station and their relationship with HRA is great. So I would love to see a repair cafe series or just something more permanent, maybe in tandem with the hazardous waste drop events that happen, regionally and every so often. That would be really cool to see.
Okay,
They do
thanks.
post the hazardous waste, yeah, at the transfer station.
And since it moves, it'll reach more people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the house when it was wasted, for sure. Okay, Krista, do you have anything on?
I
this?
don't have anything new to report on.
Are we taking this off the agenda from now on?
No,
Okay.
leave it on because
That's why I'm asking.
No, I took pictures of the gardens and now I have to just make the plant list because on the pollinator pathway, they asked for the plant material.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Right.
Nice.
so,
Okay.
and the urban forestry, I still have the info that you had sent about getting trees. I've spoken to Park and Rec about to Rachel about wanting to contribute to Parloa Park.
Oh, yeah.
Via, possibly getting some of those grants, and also the garden club wants to
Be
help
part of it.
donate.
Sure.
Yeah, they want, we already
So-
have a pollinator garden there. But as far as the trees go, And there is another place, there should be a riparian buffer down past the fence.
Oh, yeah.
On our side where all that Japanese knotweed is, there should be a buffer there.
There should be a buffer there. Yes. Absolutely.
And I think,
I used
and
to
I
go there all the
think
time for soccer
it
games.
will,
Yes.
it will help the soccer fields from being flooded.
Yeah, it was a bummer when they were flooded.
Yeah.
So
So-
there is an existing map that Nico actually created when we were working on with Sustainable Bethel Commission and Parks and Recs and the Bethel Lions Club. They intended on donating some trees and wanted to be planted, and we ended up creating a plan of where said trees could be planted at McCower and Bennett. So that map exists somewhere.
Okay,
Just because part of that legwork has been done.
okay. So there's also what the
But I don't know what type of trees.
what the landscape architect put together for Parloa Park. There's also a planting list for that. And one thing to stress is that we should be going all native.
Yes.
Nothing should be
I think the plan Nico had initially created was natives,
okay.
because that's something that as a commission representative, I kept stressing.
Yes,
Because
yes.
that's the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, well, good luck.
Excellent. Thank you, Krista. Okay, we already, did you want to add anything, Gabriella, to the pedestrian safety, or we chopped that out?
Sorry, what's the?
Because it's your project, the
pedestrian
pedestrian
safety.
safety.
Oh, the pedestrian safety
That's
is
what we
what
just talked
Watch
about.
for Me Connecticut with Anna Stern.
Right.
And Anna is working with Kathy to do the educational awareness campaign.
Yep.
The pledge car initiative was approved by the traffic authority, police commission. So whatever the funds come in for that and how that's gonna roll out, probably in the spring. Yeah, and it's in the hands of the town
Yeah.
to make that happen now.
I'm wondering too, as far as Parloa Park, and they actually moved the entrance for the ramp to the other side so that they could save those two large trees that are on either side of the stairs, which is fabulous. But I wondered, I was just thinking about it when Anna was doing her presentation, where are the crosswalks gonna be?
What sidewalks?
Doesn't Rachel have the plans?
But I don't think it doesn't go into the street. It doesn't go into is there gonna be a
Well, that's a good
crosswalk
point.
at the stop sign? Or is there going to be a crosswalk at
Needs
where the
crosswalks, for sure.
entrance
Yep.
goes into the park? It should probably be one on both sides, but I can see how the one, if it was at the entrance, I think the corner where there's a house there on the corner, that would probably be where you would want the crosswalk to be, because it's on a corner, but it would be in the middle of the street, not at a stop sign.
Those
What
are
would it connect
difficult
to?
to do middle of this, that's the,
I
I
know.
mean, just
What would
if
it
you look at
connect to?
federal and state standards, you can do it, but it takes some doing
Yeah,
to get that approved.
but that's a
Yeah.
town road. Blackman is a
Yeah, I
town
mean,
road.
they can get it approved, it's just not, a standard thing.
For the
from a
new entrance,
transportation.
you mean?
Yeah, because, okay, it's supposed to be more walkable now, right?
Right.
So what direction are you coming from? You're coming from, let's say you're coming from Greenwood Avenue and you just went to the natural food market and you're coming up the street and you want to go to the park. Where are you going to cross the road? You're not going to walk all the way down to the corner where the stop sign is and cross over with a
Right.
stroller and then walk up the sidewalk
Yeah,
there.
okay,
You're
yeah.
going to cross right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, and these are all fantastic conversations that we need to have.
Yeah.
With this-
Yeah. The design that currently stands, because they put up those ballard things that say no parking, it's forcing you to go to the parking lot and walk the path that way.
But let's say I walked.
Right.
it depends where you're coming from, but yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, a
Yeah.
lot of people walk, and part of the,
That's
the
right.
big reason for having the ramp is
Right.
because there was no way to get a stroller or a wheelchair into the park, other than going all the way down the bumpy sidewalk.
I know, it's, we can start on sidewalks, because that's like a thing.
The sidewalk on,
That is like, it's just, oh my God.
sidewalk on that side ends.
And the thing is,
There's no sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's just the hills of the people's yards.
Yes.
unless you get a grant, like, there are grants, state grants, federal grants. They are so expensive to install sidewalks. It's overwhelming. So you need other money than just local money
Yeah.
to do that. It's a thing. But yeah, don't get me started on sidewalks my whole life, but okay. That's great. Yeah, I think that's another part of that conversation. And
You know,
plan.
that should be a
That's
committee.
part of that plan that I'd like to start putting together direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to think about it before
The project.
before the project is like done,
You're
and you're
absolutely
like, okay, now where should we put the
Because we have to look
crosswalk?
at everything.
It's part of the design
It's part of everything.
brainstorm.
It has
Yeah.
to be correct. You're absolutely right.
Because I would think, I don't know if they're gonna do anything to the sidewalk in there, but there are no.
And the whole
breakout
point is so
ramps.
people don't have to drive from here to here, right? You can just walk, because it's like literally a couple blocks, right?
Right.
Right.
Can I ask a question? Why are they changing it from underneath the trees where the steps are? Because people sit there and they're in the shade.
The steps are in the same place. So.
Right, but why,
Okay,
why
so they
change the
wanted to
entrance?
they wanted to put a ramp in, because if I came to the playground and my child is in a stroller, there is no way for me to get into the park.
Or a wheelchair.
Or a
They can
wheelchair.
put it to one side or the other of the trees.
Right, and that's what they did. The
Oh.
original plans took out the two trees on either side of the stairs. And they said, no, you have to figure out a different way. And so instead of going this way, going to the left and down, then they made the entrance not where the stairs are to the ramp, but over further. And then it zigzags and comes back and lands underneath the stairs, which is what it should do.
Okay.
And you
Because
have to,
people sit on those stairs underneath the shade in the summer all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
all
no,
right.
but like the ramp, the regulation for the slope of the ramp has to be more than like 4% or 3% or something like
But
that. And that's
couldn't-
why they have to zigzag it.
couldn't the crosswalk remain there and put
There is
another
no
one at the other
crosswalk.
end?
There is no crosswalk.
No, but couldn't they put a crosswalk in there
That
and
was
do
my
one at the other end?
They could, yes. Okay, but these are all conversations that need to be.
Yeah, that was my original question.
How do we get
Was-
from this to?
Was,
actually
are they
doing
putting a
something?
crosswalk in?
Sorry.
And should it be where the ramp entrance is? Should there also be one where the stop sign is? Are they too close to one another? You know,
Okay. All right, thank you. Gabriella, is there anything on the WestCon student project?
No, it's out there. They showed
Can you
it.
keep it on the agenda?
Nothing.
Do you want to keep it on the agenda?
No,
Okay.
I don't think we need to. I think,
If it happens, you'll bring it up.
Yep.
I think, I agree with that. Okay. Okay. All right.
And then Earth Day, right? I cannot plan, I cannot organize, I cannot lead Earth Day. Everything is there on the drive. Templates to go out as invites, the registration form template. Everything is there. So hopefully somebody else can take on planning that so that the event takes place. I booked the lawn for Saturday, April 25th, and rain date is the 26th. I know Trashapalooza is essentially already planned. It's just it's already copied for this year, people to sign up. So that's done. It's really just getting the registration form out to, it's right now it's about getting the registration form out to the vendors, community members, community organizations, whatever. We have a list that we used in the past. You guys can add to it. Everything is really already organized. It needs somebody to take the time to actually send out emails with the registration form and follow up. Somebody needs to do the Facebook event page. I've never had access to it, so it needs to be updated. But yeah, I cannot do it, so hopefully somebody else can take that on so that the town has the event. The Trashapalooza has been planned by JD from Bethel Land Trust, and it's the map and the streets identified are the same. And there's a space where you can sign up your own neighborhood, your own street. Nobody ever has in the past, but you can. Yeah, so hopefully somebody wants to take that on, because I cannot.
Okay, thank you. So if somebody would like to lead that, just let us know, let me know, that would be great. All right. Is there anything else?
It seems like if nobody takes it on, the event won't happen. So it will impact the town, which I think is a real bummer. So hopefully somebody can, a group of y'all can do this together.
Or another group and take it on, so, yeah. We'll see what happens, but, okay. All right, so is there anything else? Other business from anybody? All right, our next meeting, since we approved every other month, will be March 18th, not February, so.
I will not be here that day.
Okay.
Do we have the other meeting dates?
March 18th.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Beyond that, do we have the other meeting dates? I just want to put on.
March 18th.
She's saying beyond the 18th.
Beyond.
Oh,
yeah.
it'll be the same schedule, but every other month. So, yeah, I'll put
Oh,
together
right.
that with the town clerk, because that will have to go to the town clerk for, formal filing.
Oh,
That's required.
I have a
Third
question.
Wednesday of the month. Okay. Alrighty.
I have a question about the bylaws. The document on the Sustainable Bethel Commission Drive needs to be updated with today's date, which I can do.
Okay.
And then my plan was to create a PDF and present that PDF to the town clerk. Do I need to get it to you first to be included in the minutes? Because I can.
Yeah, this will probably take me a day or two to produce the minutes, so that could give you a little time. Like, I'll probably shoot for Friday to have the minutes done. Does that?
Yeah,
is that
so I
okay?
can shoot to have it to you like PDF form Friday morning.
Okay,
So that
I'll give
way,
you my email.
Great.
Okay.
is it like Sue?
It's Carrizo@bethel-ct.gov.
Alright.
2 R's, 2 Z's.
Great, thank you.
I'm actually the secretary for Park and Rec. So
Yeah.
if you go right into Park and Rec's page, you can click right on.
I've talked to you on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Nice to put a face. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Yes. Oh, Krista. Yeah, Gabriella, Krista, all in favor?
Bye.
Thank you all, and we'll be
Bye.
talking. Have a good trip here.
Bye.
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 All before 8 o'clock. Who knew?
Oh, and we had a presentation, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I think one of the nice things about her presentation was that it was nice and short and concise. And I think that, like, in presenting to other departments,
Yeah.
that's extremely important
Oh,
because
gosh,
there's
yeah.
already so much.
I'm
Yeah,
with you on that.
I tried to get them invited to the meeting and it didn't happen, so.
So I had a Federated Garden Clubs of Connecticut, their monthly board meeting.
Yep.
And, there's a new person
You can turn it.
that,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Since we already adjourned. Thank you.
there is.
Hang up on the red.
I have to.
Oh, you have to do your thing.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.